Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Office Bloke Daz.
Together we are the Office Blokes.
Yes.
It is true. Marine shreds Taliban fighters with a 50 cal.
Right.
Ouch.
Yeah, this was tough combat, wasn't it? Taliban.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the legitimate political party now in Afghanistan.
I'm guessing
aren't
it's Afghanistan, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
difficult
Guess so.
terrain, very difficult to fight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hide
Usually,
hidden
yeah.
away. Didn't know who was the military and who wasn't
Yeah.
the military.
Yeah.
Well, it's unwinnable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially, like
Yeah.
the Russians tried it, they left, and then wasn't the Americans tried it. We didn't do very well.
Yeah, I think it's more unconventional over there, isn't
Yeah.
it? So it's, tough. Really tough.
Maybe it was about something else.
Could be the opium.
Maybe.
Not into conspiracy theories, but anyway, let's check this out. Marine shreds Taliban fighters with a 50 cal. Let's go for it.
May 7th, 2005. Lance Corporal Todd Corbin was driving a 7-ton truck for 3rd Battalion 25th Marines when word came down that a nearby platoon had come under intense fire along the Euphrates River near Haditha, Iraq. A quick reaction force comprised of Corbin's 7-ton truck, 3 Humvees, and 2 tanks took off to support their fellow Marines and attempt to block the insurgents' escape route. As they closed in on the firefight location, Corbin and the members of the QRF noticed an alarming absence of civilians. They were familiar with this area and it was usually fairly crowded, but right now it was like a ghost town. Then all of a sudden a van loaded down with explosives gunned it out of an adjacent alleyway and blew up between 2 of the convoy's Humvees, igniting a brutal ambush of small arms fire, mortars, and rocket-propelled grenades.
Imagine walking towards that.
Were the Taliban in Iraq?
Did he say Iraq?
He said
So
Iraq.
in the Euphrates River. Iraq.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
I thought it was Al Qaeda in.
Yeah, so did I, yeah.
I think there's multiple fighting forces because there's Taliban in Pakistan as well. I think they're a tribe, aren't
Well,
they?
Yeah.
Pakistan's very tribal, I know that. And Afghanistan, I mean, they're all in that sort of like same region anyway, aren't they? But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know Taliban was was Afghanistan, wasn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if they were in
He must have been. He definitely said Iraq.
Yeah, he did.
So.
But yeah, walking towards that when you know it's your guys that have just been blown up.
I know, yeah.
4 personnel, including 3 Marines and a Navy corpsman, were killed instantly. 3 vehicles suffered catastrophic damage.
Wow.
It was a total nightmare. Of the nearly 15 surviving QRF Marines, only 5 were uninjured. Corbin immediately repositioned his truck directly between the enemy and his fellow Marines. He quickly radioed the situation to the battalion, and then he jumped out of the truck and started taking control of the situation, directing his Marines to engage the enemy. One of the wounded was Corbin's patrol leader. Disregarding the concentrated enemy fire, Corbin ran to the severely wounded sergeant, picked him up, and placed him over his shoulder, continuing to fire at the enemy with his free hand while carrying the wounded Marine back to the 7-ton truck. Meanwhile, one of the other surviving Marines, Corporal Jeffrey Schuler, jumped into the gunner position of one of the damaged Humvees and took control of the M240G machine gun. Schuler then started sending some serious hurt downrange, swinging the gun across his field of fire for over a half an hour while eliminating insurgents positioned on rooftops, in doorways, and windows. After exhausting all of the M240G ammunition, he then switched to his M16, and when that was out of ammo, he switched to his 9mm pistol. As Schuler was throwing everything he had at the enemy, Corbin continued maneuvering back and forth through the kill zone, retrieving wounded Marines and loading them into the back of the 7-ton truck. During one of 5 trips through the kill zone, Corbin came under small arms fire while carrying an injured corpsman. Without hesitation, he shielded the corpsman with his own body until Schuler was able to repel the burst of enemy fire from the Humvee's turret. By the time Corbin was done, wounded Marines filled the 7-ton truck to the brim, many with their weapons still protruding from the truck, continuing to fire at the enemy. The 7-ton truck looked like a porcupine with all the weapons sticking out of it. During the firefight, the truck had sustained 3 flat tires and a shot-up radiator. It's a miracle it was able to run at all. But Corbin quickly activated the truck's emergency systems and was able to drive it out of the kill zone into a battalion aid station 5 miles away. Due to Corbin and Schuler's heroic actions, no Marines lost their life after the initial attack. Corbin and Schuler received their medals during a joint ceremony at the Brook Point, Ohio headquarters of 3rd Battalion, 25th Marines. Todd Corbin received the Navy Cross, and Jeffrey Schuler received the Silver Star. This story is an incredible testament to just how well-trained Marines are. These 2 men were in the exact same firefight, the exact same ambush, but they responded to the situation completely differently. They both knew exactly what their jobs were, and they instantly sprung into action. And they worked perfectly together without communicating at all. Corbin immediately positioned his truck, blocking the enemy's fire on the wounded Marines, and then got to work getting the Marines to safety. And then without communicating to Corbin at all, Jeffrey Schuler jumped into the gunner seat because he noticed that his gunner in his Humvee was wounded and unable to fight. So he just moved him to the side, took control of the machine gun, and then started laying down suppressing fire so that Corbin could load everyone up. And then once they had everyone loaded up, they both moved to the truck and got the heck out of there. It's like they had planned this and knew the ambush was going to happen. But there's no way that they could have known. They just were so well trained that they both knew exactly how to handle this situation, and they sprung into action without any hesitation and saved a tremendous amount of lives that day due to their incredible training and bravery. I wasn't able to find any information on what Jeffrey Schuler is up to these days, but I was able to find out that Todd Corbin actually got out of the Marine Corps and is now serving at his local sheriff's department in Ohio, which is super freaking cool. I do have another story for you guys today in this video, so don't you worry, the video's not over yet, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support. We hit 100,000 subscribers last week, and I just couldn't be more excited about that. That is a crazy milestone, and I can't believe we've hit it so quickly. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel. You guys rock. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you don't enjoy the video, feel free to hit that dislike button though. It doesn't bother me at all. And make sure you leave me a comment down below letting me know what I can do to improve my future videos. But I hope you guys all enjoy it and hope you guys enjoy these stories. If you guys want to support the channel, go check out the Patreon. It's linked down in the description below. That is the best way to support the channel and help me continue to make these videos. Big shout out to all my Patreon supporters. You guys are the reason I'm able to make these videos, so thank you guys. But with that, let's continue on with the next story.
Before the next story, you think about that, what that guy's been through, and he's like a sheriff in Ohio now.
Yeah.
And then you get turns out some domestic and some absolute dickheads just giving him shit. He's like he's an absolute war hero.
Yeah, stand back. Yeah. I'm thinking the next guy's the Taliban fighters, maybe. The next story.
Of course.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. But, I mean, I think that big mounted belt-fed gun is a 50 cal.
Right, okay.
That he was attacking with, but I don't know, maybe.
November 16th, 2005, during Operation Steel Curtain in Iraq, 21 enemy personnel engaged Lance Corporal Joshua Moy's platoon with grenades and automatic fire from several fortified buildings. Lance Corporal Moy repeatedly exposed himself to reinforce engaged Marines in one of the heavily fortified buildings. He attacked the enemy at close range with grenades and his rifle to personally recover 4 wounded Marines and destroy fierce adversaries who were determined to fight to the death. On 6 different occasions, Lance Corporal Moy willingly entered an ambush site to pursue the enemy and rescue injured Marines. Often alone in his efforts, he continued to destroy the enemy and rescue wounded Marines until his rifle was destroyed by enemy fire and he was ordered to withdraw. Lance Corporal Moy's relentless and courageous actions eliminated at least 4 insurgents while permitting the immediate care and evacuation of more than a dozen Marines who laid critically or mortally wounded. His valiant efforts were essential to saving the lives of 10 Marines and inspired the company to destroy 18 insurgents in the battle that ended further enemy resistance during Operation Steel Curtain. Lance Corporal Joshua Moy received the Navy Cross for his heroic actions that day. Lance Corporal Moy, you are an absolute stud. Thank you so much for your service. What a beast to run into the ambush area over and over again, completely alone to rescue his fellow Marines. I mean, that is just a real life superhero, dude. You are incredible. But with that, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for checking out. I hope you enjoyed it. Mace.
That guy that was sat next to him seemed
injured.
But then when they moved him, there was blood everywhere behind him, wasn't there?
He seemed very uncomfortable, and he just sat there, sort of moving around.
Yeah, definitely. Copped a bullet there. I think about
proud
it.
for these guys that they do all this so we can have an easier life.
That's incredibly encouraging. But the guy said, especially on the first video, the training. I mean, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? They're trained so well. Yeah. It's just if they weren't trained, it'd be an absolute carnage, wouldn't it?
Special breed, aren't they?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you see armies that aren't trained so well, and what happens when they are in combat and it just falls apart and people start running and they're all over the place. Yeah. You just can't beat the training of our soldiers, the American soldiers.
Yeah, the training's absolutely probably best in the world.
Yeah.
Proper heroes though. I mean, running into an ambush zone, knowing that people have been injured there, and you're just going to go through and try and recover people.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes balls, doesn't it?
Oh, hugely.
Yeah. You guys enjoyed that? Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.